Good morning. Welcome to Craft Around the Clock. And I am Mary with Ocean Breeze and Me, and I'm so glad to be back. Missed everybody. It's not been that long, but it seems like it's been forever. My attendance for watching all of you has been hit and miss, as you well know, because hubby had surgery. But we are doing well. It's going to be a long recovery, but we'll get there. Good morning, Renee. So I do my best. I'll be coming in when I can, and I'll be watching when I can. We've had visiting nurses and physical therapy, and which they've come to the house. I gave him a special kind of vest, kind of like a vest. It goes over the middle, and there's stimulating things going on, but he can't feel it. But it's supposed to help with the bone healing. So it's quite something. Good morning, Mayor. So give me just a minute here to pull myself up so I'm able to read comments. I'm sure I look tired, which I am. When you are a caregiver, sometimes it's very tiring. Needless to say. Let's see if I can find me. There we are. Wonderful. Good morning, Tracy. Okay, let's do our thing here and move. There we are. All right. Let me show you what we're going to do today. Thank you, Dominique. I'm glad to be back. It seems like, it's funny, if you don't at least hit it once a week, or, you're not on to watch, it seems like months have gone by. So, really, really glad to be back. And like I said, it's going to be hit and miss for a little while. It all depends on, what's going on with hubby. We had a visiting nurse for 2 days. She tried to get blood and she couldn't. So, which meant I had to get him out of the house and get him to our center to take blood. And it's tough because of his incision is at least 5 to 6 inches long, and he has staples all the way down. Let me tell you, when I take him in next week, if they're taking the staples out, I am going to excuse myself. I don't know. I understand it's simple, but I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know. Alrighty, let me tip you down here. And I have a piece of wood. How about that? Like you can't tell. These little frames are adorable. I'm going to ask you to pick, and please note, mark this on your calendar. I'm doing farm animals. We have the little pig, or we have the little Miss Cow. So how about you let me know which one you like the most, and we'll get going with them. I'm going to cut versus using a water pen. Elizabeth, Bill is doing well. He's getting around quite well by walker only. And of course, there's no twisting, no bending, no lifting. All he can do right now is get up and down in his seat. But he's doing well. I'm surprised. And he has complained not at all about pain. So I have a pig, I have a cow. Do I have a tiebreaker? No. And Patricia likes both. Cow, pig. So, I guess, but the cow. Okay. Believe it or not, that was my first choice too. So I'm going to kind of finagle it. It's not going to be 100% covered on the frame here, but I think that will be all right. First of all, let's get this taken care of. I'm going to put dark paint on it and then wipe it off. We have been having some absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous weather. I have managed to do a little bit of planting. I had a few flowers left to do and got that all done. Set up our yeah, I'll get there. Bird bath. And got the hose out and set that all up. It's amazing what you can do when you have to. And right now, that's why I'm tired, because I'm pretty spoiled. Bill does the cooking because I'm not. It's not that I can't cook. I don't like to. So I'm doing all the cooking, of course, taking care of him, cleaning, which I normally do. But, you know, just the things like the garbage and all that he always took care of. And it's amazing. I don't think sometimes you realize how much they do until they can't. So I have not quite 2 weeks until it's my turn to get my eyes done. Well, one eye. I have cataract coming out, and I am so excited. I can hardly stand it. Be very nice to be able to see. This was such a shame. We were in the hospital with Bill for 12 hours, and my youngest had to go back, and my oldest came down on Tuesday. Still numb at most cases. You don't feel them. Oh, well, I don't know that my stomach can handle it, Mayor. I'm afraid, you know, I'll sit there and make all these kind of faces, which won't do him any good. Anyway, so my oldest came in Wednesday morning to bring him home and get to the hospital. And here he's having trouble. His sodium is low. Well, and he's draining too much. So they said, no, you're not going home. I felt so sorry for my son. He drove in from Pennsylvania because Mom's having a hard time seeing. So it's called, you got to suck it up. And, oops. And I ended up, hello, Elizabeth. Hi, Tiffany. Sun in the mountain. Good morning, Robin. So, he calls me Wednesday and said he's coming home. I said, okay. I said, let me get my leg pumps done and I shall be there. So I got everything done that I needed to, got there. Do you know what time we left? 5 o'clock. What are you gonna do? You can't rush. But they said his sodium was still down, and she didn't come in until 2. And she said, how much you been drinking today? He said, oh, I've had about 6 of those. She had called in the nurse's station in the morning and said to restrict his fluid intake, and they did not do it. So he had to go an hour without drinking anything so they could take his blood again and see how it was. So it was good. Well, then we got the question of the drain. So they finally decided he could come home with the drain, as long as we had in-care nurses so they could drain it and measure it. So he had that until yesterday, day before. We were finally able to remove the drain. So, but all in all, for everything he went through, he did good. And you know how it is. You sit there forever in the waiting room, and we had been in there. Well, we left and went for breakfast, came back. My son sat with me. No, my daughter-in-law came too. And I finally said to him, I said, look, I've been sitting here all this time. I have got to go to the bathroom. And I kept checking the wall, you know, where the thing is. It tells you what they're doing. It said, still in surgery. Okay. So I go to the bathroom, come back out, and my son and daughter-in-law are sitting there grinning. I said, are you kidding me? I said, did he come in? Yep. So I missed the whole conversation. I never saw him the whole time Bill was in. But he said, and they originally said 5 hours, and they decided to backtrack because of his heart. So they said they were going to go 3.5 to 4 if the heart and the blood pressure did well. He did tell my kids, he got everything done that he wanted to. So that was good. And he said his heart and his blood pressure did excellent. So the long-term goal is that he will be as pain-free as possible. He stood up, when he stood up for the first time, he said it feels so good to be able to stand straight up, which he hasn't done in a long time. So now I'm able to take a deep breath. On my downtime, I sit out in the porch a lot because I love being outside and the birds, and we have hummingbirds. It's just very relaxing, and I can take my deep breath and, you know, just chill for a couple minutes. He does a lot of sleeping. Okay, so one painted. So I want to do, I think, come here you, we'll put you over here. I kind of want to do this. I don't think I want it the same color. I think I would like it maybe a bit lighter, and then we can put some dark wax on it. That's my thought. At least that's what my brain's telling me this morning. So we shall see what we shall see. Is Deborah here? And Kelvy's here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, Deborah. Morning, Stacy. Cheryl, good morning. Oh, really? Wow. Well, they just did his blood work yesterday, and his sodium is still low. So, I'm quite sure, ooh, have some paint. I'm quite sure we'll be hearing something, I'm sure. Cheers, everybody. I know I drink a lot of coffee, but I think I've been drinking a lot more. Okay, let's see what we get. That's not bad. pups don't understand why they can't be, you know, sitting right on Dad, which, especially Baxter, makes him sassy as all get out. And with Bill with the walker, they don't like that either. Such is life, puppers. So they too have been spending a great deal of time outside, but they're happy out there. Winston does his usual, goes outside, does what he needs to do, comes back on the porch, jumps up on the love seat out there, and just watches the world go by. He's as content as he can be. And then you have Baxter stretched out on the steps because it's cool. So do you all have your hummingbirds have come by? We had one for the longest time and then none, and now we have two. So I definitely know, you know, that it's going to be nest building time. I doubt very much if they'll build where I can see. We have 4 huge, now I'm not going to be able to think, crepe myrtle trees out back. And a lot of times they will, when they come over to the feeder, when they leave, that's where they head. But Bill and Baxter are having an argument because Baxter goes in on the cold floor in the bathroom and poor Bill needs to get in there and he doesn't want to leave. It's like, no, wait a minute, this is my spot. But anyway, I think that's where they are. And I'm sure they go up high and get hidden in there because they've got to watch for the other birds. So we don't get to see. I might pull out my binoculars and see if I can locate, because they just fascinate me. They were playing around last night, zipping through they'll come racing and they'll zip right through the carport. You'll go right over your head or right in front of your face. All right, I think we are covered. All right. Oh, it might be nice if you pick your drying tool up off the floor. All right, let's dry it. Sorry for the noise. I hope you all have been having a wonderful week. Looks like my comments may have stopped. Surprise, surprise. There we go. Hello, Jennifer and Tammy. You're scrolling here, but not on my laptop. Go figure. My eyes are playing tricks on me. So I did not see a schedule this morning. There may not be one. As Miss Tracy has explained, sometimes things are just a bit crazy. So rather than change it 50 million times, it's just as well to just leave it. No, they don't want to move. All I see is that you're watching. So as soon as I see a comment, I will answer or I will comment. Right now, nothing. So do all of you mothers have something special going on over the weekend? Hi, Kelly Cat. How are you? Since our kids did all their running around while hubby had surgery, they will not be coming down for Mother's Day, which is fine. I'll be cooking dinner. There. Good morning, Nancy from Alabama. Finally, I see one. It just came to a halt. And through all this with Bill, we lost our sister-in-law in California, which it wasn't unexpected, but still, it's not pleasant. It's pretty dry. Okay. Quiet. That's dry too. So the object is, which I probably will take some off. After I know I have it down, at least down here, then I want to take it off at the top. See, this is, if you have, oh, you'll be by yourself, Cheryl. I'm sorry. You don't get your Mod Podge cleaned off your container. If you wait long enough, it dries and it peels right off, and then you can use the same container. I'm lazy. It's whatever works. Hey, Debbie from Secondhand Treasure, how are you? Good to see you. And that sponge is done. I think I'll use this one this morning. So it's just Mod Podge here. And I want to catch it in here. Kind of first up before I start clipping anything. Okay. There's the teeny tiny scissors. Oh, I was out with our pups the other evening, and Winston, being Beagle, he senses when something is around, and I'm like, what are you barking at now? So I looked around, and it was the first time I had seen our foxes are back. There he stood, frozen, but he was a big boy, very big. So I reeled them in. I didn't want him to keep. They're more scared of us than, you know, we are of them, really. But they do make a lot of noise. I don't know if you've ever heard fox, but they can make some noise. This is the second time. When Winston was just a puppy, we were out in the backyard, and he turned around and froze, and I looked to see what was bothering him. There was one not far off of our backyard. But here again, they really don't come after you. They want to get out of the way, which is exactly what he did. The reason why I'm clipping is I really don't necessarily want the paper to be seen. And hopefully I'll have a chance to show you. And I do know we have extra time if we need. Where are we at now? Okay. Oh, that walker sound. Oh, yeah. So I managed to get into the Fun Friday with the lights. I'm excited. I already know. I was sitting in here and I have a couple things under the table, and I saw that one that was coming up, and I looked and went, oh, I've got everything I need. Now, can I get there on time? I did. So I'm excited. Oh, but that little piece. Just want to make sure these are down. And I may. Yeah. So I go and slop it up, then I need to cut it. Power for the course. There we go. Yes. So this is what I want. I don't want to see anything through the framework. I have Jenga blocks. It doesn't matter. I have to play around with it because I don't want to see a whole lot of it. But I may not have a choice. But we are going to go ahead and paint them quickly. Doesn't take too much to paint these. Thank goodness. Get that one dry. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, Andrea, hello. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. Hello, Sheila. My comments have been frozen. Oh, you like the print? You know where that came from. Digital Deco Designs. And this isn't me doing farm animals, but what the heck? You know, sometimes you got to step out of your comfort zone, right? Good morning, Rosalind. That's good. Get the other one quick. I'll tell you, being in the house is, I can go out on the porch, but I want to tell you, the beach is calling. I'll have to be patient. I would love to get down there before, well, of course it's already started, but it's not as bad as it's going to get. And that's the vacationers. Easter weekend was horrible. And of course, they're also in the midst of road construction, trying to make loops and so forth to decrease the traffic, which it's never going to happen. I don't care how they do it. We're going to have traffic. You can't change. Hi, Ruby. You can't change the fact that people like to be at the beach. I have to laugh. I was sitting on the porch the other day looking out in my backyard. When we moved in, there was like an old windmill or farm. I don't know what you call them. Windmill. And at first I went, that's really not my taste. So neighbors were going crazy. You can't tell me you're going to get rid of it. So I said to my husband, tell you what we'll do. Oh, Mary, you did not. Yes, I did. That's all right. We'll use the other glue. So part of the yard is that way, has the windmill. That's the back. And then you come around the porch and on the side and to the front. On the side is the lighthouse, and we got the stone down. And I have driftwood and some shells that I got when we went over to Jersey. Cheers again. So I'm sitting there, and I'm going to date myself, but when Donnie and Marie, remember when they had their show? And they always sang a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. Well, all I could think of was a little bit country and a little bit of, how did I phrase it in my head? A little bit of sand and ocean. So we have the best of both. That will work. Okay. Up you go. My neighbor said, you can't take that away. It helps her when you look outside. She says, I know which direction the wind is coming from. Okay. A lot of people look to that windmill. So it had to stay. You look crooked. All right. So let me turn it around so you can see. But I am not done. I don't like the glue here, though. Now I'm going to turn it. So I'm thinking, yes, I'm good. I'm good. Can't tell time either. My brain is just worn out. Can't say anything more, just plain worn out. So I have a few little white flowers and some greens. So I turned it around, but I'd actually would like it to be, oh, it's going to stand on its own. I did not think it would. That's a plus. Very much a plus. I might need you longer. Crows. I just had it. What did I do with you? Can't see either. I put you back. Amazing. That's why I can't find you. I actually put you back. There we go. I'm going to have to play around and turn it towards you, then turn it toward me. Probably should have put foam in there, but I think it will work. If not, I can always change it. have to go to Salisbury today to pick up Mr. Baxter's medicine. It's working. He's got more pep in his step, but he's still just as sassy as ever. That hasn't changed a bit. Burn myself for sure. I actually have another piece of wood and another frame, so I could actually do the pig as well. But I'm sure you could count on one hand how many times I've done anything that had to do with farm. Oh, you like the greenery, Andrea? Thank you. Thank you, Irma. Doodle Denise, hello. Nice to see you. Okay. I also want to put it a little bit around the sides. Oh, and I have to tell you, I talked to our Wacky Jackie the other day. She gave me a call, and we definitely need to keep her in our prayers. Boy, did she certainly had some work done. Whoa. And she seems to be doing pretty well, getting bored, as you can all imagine. And she's moving herself back upstairs. I think sometime this week. Blue strings. we certainly don't need glue strings, but boy, oh boy. They are always present. Another sip. It's getting cold now. Looks like, oh, good morning, Deborah. Thank you, Kelby. Thank you, Kefany. Thank you, Sheila. Yes, going out of my zone. Well, they are so cute. And apparently I intended on using them or I wouldn't gotten them, right? I think sometimes it's just, you know, you get them, you wait until you feel you're ready. Okay, I need some greenery over here. I want this to go out a little further, I think. I think that evened it out a little more. And we're 17. So I'm going to go ahead and finish, but this is what we have. I'm going to go, I think, yet down the sides. And I know I have extra time, but it's the same thing. You know, it's going down the sides. Nothing different. So I'm going to go ahead and give way to our next presenter. And let me see if I can see anything more. I don't think so. All right. Well, there's Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Thank you so much for being here. I'm not filling time slots. I'm coming on when I can. So I don't know yet. I'll pop on and surprise you. If I don't see, well, I don't think it'll be all the way till the 16th. I'm sure I'll be in before then because I will go crazy. Alrighty, guys. I thank you so much for your continued support. And I shall see you hopefully very soon. Alrighty. Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.